Here at the guest house now?
Very nice, isn't it?
I know you've seen it. You've watched the progress here.
Yeah, they put it up fast.
They did put it up fast.
Real fast.
They sure did. So, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're
Glad to be here.
breaking in the new studio here. See, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's beautiful. How many seats? Like 4?
Well, it's almost 500. I think 470, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've shown Elvis movies in here.
Yeah.
They've had some live entertainment in here.
Oh,
Oh, did you come watch a little bit of Aloha last night? So let's talk, Betty, about, we're going to get to some of the, most people probably have your artwork, Elvis fans, either on their clothing or in their house, even if they don't know it. Because you have been drawing Elvis, creating Elvis images for how many years now?
I really have to say.
Long time, right? 60 years.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until we were kind of exchanging notes beforehand that you were you an Army brat? Was your dad?
Air Force.
Air Force, okay.
Yeah.
So you were all over the world, really?
All over the world. I went to 17 schools in 12 years.
17 schools in 12 years?
12 years. Yeah.
And do you remember when you started drawing? Was that kind of a way?
Yeah, I was, I had the boy that sat in front of me in class was always drawing. And I just was fascinated with it. I was so neat how he could draw horses and Indians and mountains. And I think we were living in Kansas at the time. And one day I just said, Tommy, can you teach me how to do that? And he said, well, no, but just watch me and you'll pick it up.
Wow.
So I did, and I just started drawing everything. Everything, it didn't matter what it was, a table, a spoon, Indians, cowboys, mountains. Sit in the garage, and when my dad worked on the cars, I'd draw the cars, everything. I loved
Sit
it.
and look and draw. Wow.
Yeah, I just loved it.
And you hadn't stopped.
Haven't stopped.
Haven't stopped since then. But I didn't realize you went to high school in France, right?
Yes, I did my first and second grades in France, and then I did my 11th and 12th grades in France.
Okay.
Graduated from Drew American High School. Did my senior prom at the Georges V in Paris. Yeah, it was great.
And by that time, you were drawing a whole lot more, entering competitions, things like that?
Well, actually, I hadn't entered any, but in my art class at school, the teacher came in one day, and he brought a stalk of wheat that he'd stopped and picked up on the way, and he said, now draw this. So I drew it. He said, no, you can do better than that. So I did some more. He said, no, come on. He said, come on, do it. So I worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and he turned around and entered it in a show in Europe, and I won.
And you didn't know he entered it?
I didn't know it until it was all over.
Well, that's the encouragement, right?
Yeah, I think I still have that ribbon. In fact, I know I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
And do you still have the paint or the drawing too?
No, the drawing I don't have.
Who knows where that is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, whenever we moved, my dad was one of these, just clear it out, throw it away, and we'll start over again.
Right, right.
In fact, I'd done a drawing of Elvis, the one that's on the first album cover. I did a full piece of it, and it was a stand-up about that tall. And I was putting my stuff together and getting ready, and I thought, what happened to that drawing? I had this little knock on the door, and I opened my bedroom door, and it was standing there. My dad had thrown it away, and my brother had found it, so he brought it back in.
He rescued it.
He rescued it.
Well, let's fast forward and kind of bring it to when you started. I guess from an early age you've been drawing Elvis, though, just like you were saying. From your early years you were drawing Elvis, but you weren't really drawing Elvis commercially until years later.
Oh, right.
After you had already...
Yeah, I was drawing Elvis from... As soon as I started drawing people.
Right.
But one of my classmates asked me, well, have you ever drawn anybody who's a real person? And I thought, well, no, I haven't done that. And at the time, we had big cheap notebooks that we used in school.
Right.
And Roy Rogers was on the front of mine, so I thought, well, I'll just try this. So Roy was the first person I ever drew. And I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked. And then, of course, Elvis. That was it.
And so let's fast forward to when you were living in Nashville, raising a family, and Ray Walker of the Jordanaires. Talk about your relationship with Ray and really how he in some ways responsible for you being here right now and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
getting into this
He is.
commercially.
Yeah, we actually met Ray. I had done some prints for the state of Kentucky, and we were on the road, and we met Ray on the road. Came across a show he was doing because he did youth rallies, and met him on the road, and I showed him my work and what I did, and he said, "Oh, you need to come to Nashville." You know, he didn't do that. So it wasn't too long after that we moved to Nashville. We lived with him for, I think, 3 weeks.
You lived with him?
We lived with him for 3 weeks, and he took me record sessions and meet people and all that. And so it was.
Wow.
He's really been if it hadn't been for Ray, I wouldn't have. He got me going in this way.
He did.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's in the Amazing Grace video of Elvis. You know, Ray's interviewed quite a few times, and if you look right back over his head, there's a large face portrait of Elvis. It's a pastel, and it's one that I did.
Is that the one that has survived the fires? And I mean, it's for years, this thing.
Yeah. He had it first hanging in his office, and he got a call in the middle of the night, and the fire department was there. The place just burnt. Just terrible. When they got through, there was a filing cabinet. And behind the filing cabinet, that picture had fallen off the wall and behind that cabinet. It was just fine. And then it went through another fire. So it still survives.
Well, there's something about it, Betty.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. His wife said, no hanging this picture over our bed. Yeah. But
So,
you can see it in that CD.
When Ray got you going more and doing more things, you were doing a lot of you did some album covers though for different artists.
I did a lot of album covers. The first one I did was Jimmy Dean. I did one for Jimmy Dean. When I started, I was working with Jerry Bradley at RCA, Owen Bradley's son. And he got me my first album cover. And I'd been in Nashville probably a year when I got that one. And then I did stuff for Loretta and Jim Reeves, and yeah, did that for a long time.
When you do the album cover, is it did the record label call you and say, hey, we need an album cover? Or did the artist ever have any say so on what they wanted the album cover to be? Or were you just drawing the artist? Or how did that work?
It worked both ways. Like with Jerry, he got that one for me. And then I did another one for Jimmy Dean. Sometimes it'd be the art directors of the different companies, the record companies. And sometimes artists like Bobby Bear, did a lot of stuff for Loretta Lynn, but that was all really personal stuff.
Personal stuff.
Yeah, Christmas cards and portraits and things like that.
Is she not the sweetest lady?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She is absolutely amazing.
Now, Joan Crawford is a huge fan of yours, right? Had her house redecorated, I guess, to maximize your artwork. Tell me about that.
Yeah, she liked a lot of my artwork, and the ones that we'd be talking about here would be line drawings, pencil sketches, and things like that of a series I did called Faces of America, and that's what she really liked.
You had them all then, huh?
Yeah, she had them all.
The whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Talk about what you were drawing when you heard that Elvis had passed away. You had just started a drawing, or you were working on something when you heard the news.
Yeah, the American Trilogy. That was the last picture I drew before Elvis died. And I'd gotten up that morning about 4 o'clock because I had an idea. And I got started, and I did a portrait, and I did one from the 69 Vegas show. And it was about 3 o'clock, so in the afternoon, when I got that far, and I sort of just stopped. And I thought, well, I need to look at it a bit, see where I'm going here. So I put it up on the couch, and I laid on the chair, and I laid on the couch, and I just turned on the television, and I'd look over at it, and then I'd just watch the television. Gomer Pyle was on. And I'd look over at it, and it looked okay, And then all of a sudden, at about 3:15, they said, we have important news coming out of Memphis. And I looked at that picture just then, Now I know what I need to do. So I got up, I never listened to the news report. I got up, took the picture, and drew a third image of it. I knew what they were going to say. And when I looked over there, I saw the picture that I wanted. And that was I called it the American Trilogy. And a year later, the city of Memphis, the Naval Sign Company, and the Convention and Visitor Bureau here in Memphis put that up as a billboard across from Graceland to celebrate the very first anniversary of his passing. That's great.
And really since then, you've been a part of Elvis Week every year, just about.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned, you know, I'm thinking personally, I know that I have cell phone covers, coffee cups, shirts over the years with your artwork on them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about how cool that is. I mean, being the official artist for Elvis Presley Enterprises, that's...
Well, I've drawn to Elvis all my life, and to have it come full circle, you know, to see it on things like that is just really special, because Elvis was is always been an everyday part of my life. Because he was everything I thought, everything I felt, everything I had to say was said by drawing Elvis. You know, so to see it on like that is really amazing.
Is there anything you wish your artwork was on that it's not?
Can't think what it's Oh.
I mean, because you can walk over to the gift shop and see a lot of things, but I'm wondering if there's anything.
I can't think of
any kind of item.
T-shirts and purses, and
Yeah.
I can't. I'll have to think about that one.
Well, and last time we talked, I think it's cool now how art you're taking your art moving forward. You'll draw an image of Elvis sometimes. You'll create some things, but now you can take what you create, put it into a digital kind of format, kind of play with a little, kind of create on top of that, right?
Yeah, you sure can. The computer's been really a fabulous thing, because I could take. I think you're going to show some.
Yeah, they're flipping through here and showing some more of Betty's artwork. Yeah, you could just scroll through and see some of the things that she's created over the years.
That would have been a pencil sketch, pencil drawing that I did, and then I scanned it in the computer and overlaid the music notes to make a design. And I really got into a lot of this because of so much merchandising with EPE and ABG.
Right.
But my favorite is just to sit down with a pencil and draw something like that.
You hit a milestone not too long ago where you, in August, over 20,000 drawings of Elvis.
I stand right now at 20,016. The 16th one went to a lady in Texas. It was one of the Charlotte one.
Okay. So what do you have? Are you planning something special for next August?
Probably.
I mean, the 40th.
I know it's 40th. Yeah. In fact, I'm doing something for Marion for the 40th. She's going to be having a T-shirt or something.
For her dinner?
Yeah, for her dinner.
Oh, cool.
And then, yeah, I'm sure for the show I'll have. Think about that.
Now, what keeps you busy? You mentioned Roy Rogers earlier, and you're involved with more than just Elvis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm a commercial artist, an illustrator, and right now I'm working on 5 pieces for a writer's novel.
Oh, cool.
And we've done, 6 or 7 books together. But I just do whatever comes my way that I find interesting.
Yeah.
And the older I get, it has to get more interesting.
You've seen a lot now.
Yeah, that's retirement. You know, it has to get really interesting.
Yeah, right? Yeah. BettyHarper.com, is that where folks can find you online?
It is.
And of course, Betty's the kind of person you could just, and many of you know Betty, you can just walk up to Betty and talk to Betty. She's real cool like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Always enjoy having you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And rounding out this kind of special fan appreciation event here at the guest house at Graceland.
This was a good thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Betty Harper, ladies and gentlemen. Elvis artist Betty Harper. Well, that's gonna wrap things up here. Later tonight, right here on this stage, the evening's entertainment will be provided by a good friend, Brad.